I'm running a race and the person beside me slipped, am I going to stop and try to help him up? It's the Olympics. I'm trying to get the gold medal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you slipped. We could talk about it once I'm, finished the ceremony when they adorn me with roses and play my country's national anthem. Hawk, it's me, K-Mac.
Let me see the drip one time. That's that Soul Fever right there.
997, baby. 997. I mean, that might be backwards, but the 997. I noticed these colors. Look at the colors that they decided to put. They got green on there, got some navy blue, some Carolina blue, some other type of blue. And then on the front, they're gonna put the mesh navy blue with some type of rust orange, like. It matches everything. Hey, man, look, I just had to put that out there. You can't take that out.
Hey, look, I hit record as soon as you put the shoe up there. I was like, oh, hold up. We got
all day, man.
Yeah. So
I'm happy to be here, man. My name is Kevin. Last name is McCrimmon. And the funny thing about the nickname, it wasn't something that I came up with. Yeah. I was at a job doing an event, and there were about 3 Kevins on the walkie-talkie on one channel. So in order to, simplify everything, we said, K.O., K-Mac, and I think it was like the other guy was a senior, so he got to be Kevin. But I had to be K-Mac, and another dude was K.O., and that's how we rocked it for effective communication. And after that, it kind of stuck. I was at the radio station, and I didn't want to be called Kevin the intern any longer. So I was like, just call me K-Mac. Man, rock with it since then.
And it stuck. See, seniority won that one. You was like, the nickname.
The old dude got to be Kevin. So I was like, but then all the Kevins became cool. Then after that, it was like Kevin Durant and Kevin Hart. And I was like, I want people to know my name is Kevin. Yeah, I think it fit appropriately for whatever it's worth. People were like, oh, so you think you're a Mac? I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
I'm happily.
Yeah.
I've always been happily. Hey, let her tell it. I can't find my prom picture. I can't find any type of evidence that there was any other. I've been happily forever.
Hey, black love, man.
Oh yeah.
So let's go back, man. Let's go back. So when you and I met, we met a minute ago. I forgot. My mind, 2011, 12, something like that?
Nah, wait.
No, it was before that.
It was before that. I'm all about shoes. I got timing with the shoes because I remember like I was teaching school.
Yeah.
So it had to be like after 2008, around that time.
It was like 2008, 2009.
2009. So 2009 is when I became very serious about my brand.
Yeah.
Soul Fever. I figured it out, what it meant and what I wanted it to be, what I knew it could be, and I knew I was already doing it. And it were certain people that I wanted to align myself with, and you were one of those people because you embodied what Soul Fever actually was. Not what people thought that it was, what it actually was.
So break it down then. Break down what Soul Fever is real quick.
Yeah, real quick. I don't know if I can do it quickly, but I'm going to try to do it.
Take your time. We want to get it. We want to get it out there thoroughly.
Yeah. All right, so in 2005, 2006, I started teaching school.
Right.
I started off teaching an alternative school for 8th graders.
Okay.
Called Ramsey Street Alternative, fittingly, right? Then I was recruited to teach at E.E. Smith, a prominent high school in Fayetteville, North Carolina, rich in history. Several people have come from there to be doctors, politicians, lawyers, and just major power figures in the community of Fayetteville. While teaching, a kid comes to my desk and we had these computers that you can use. And he said, man, can I please just get on the computer real quick? I got to check something. I'm like, this kid is really pressed. Sure. And it was like in the homeroom or something. So it wasn't like I had to be like, no, go do your work. It was like, we waiting for the bell to ring. Go ahead and check it out. The kid goes to Karmaloop. And he was checking like a new release drop for a certain shirt. And he was so into this.
Yeah, I remember Karmaloop.
And I saw, it was like, wow, that's me. That's how I was. Like, he did whatever he had to do. He probably waited to ride the bus, had to wait for the bus, rode the bus, got to school, had to get through everything to get to homeroom so that Mr. McCrimmon would allow him to check what Karmaloop had just dropped. Like, he was so into the drop. And I later bought like 2 pairs of kicks for that kid for like $80 so he could pay for a stretch Hummer. He sold me, check this out. He sold me his He Got Game 13s and his Aqua 8s for $80.
Damn.
So he was raising money for a stretch Hummer for prom. Thank you, Stephen Mudgett. I hope you're listening. I hope you're watching. But Stephen did that, and so I'm like, man, when that happened, I'm like, man, the intensity of him wanting to know what's hot and what's about to drop, it did something to me. Like, you know what? This is the next generation. I need to watch how they purchase, how they shop, how they buy. I need to watch them. Oh, my God. So while everybody else is like, not everybody else, but you have people that have their jobs and they don't like their jobs.
Yeah.
Well, in every profession, there are those people. I don't care if you're an astronaut or, in my case, of being a teacher. There's going to be people that don't want to be teachers anymore.
Or even the NBA. You see Kyrie Irving, he kind of like, I don't know if I want to do it,
I mean, you get that vibe that happens to everybody. And everybody handles it different ways.
Yeah.
But I was watching people that were in the profession that was like, I'm tired and they're not paying us much and we're not getting a raise. And I was simply doing it for on my long list of hustles. They told me, like, look, we'll forgive your student loans if you teach. And I was like, give me the chalk, give me the apple. I'll bring my own apple, don't worry.
You got the coffee mug.
Right, I'll do that. And I did it, and I enjoyed it, and I learned so much about the next generation. I learned about online shopping and e-commerce and, you name it, 50 Cent, I think I learned from the kids. Like, I knew that it was going to be a hit from them, Like, and I was watching around the same time, Rob, when I wanted to leave and I wanted to be somewhere else. I wanted to get to the next level with the big time. I wanted to get to the big time. And here I was in Fayetteville in a small town.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm ready to go to get it big,
Yeah, so real quick, let's go back. So you came to Fayetteville to go to school, right? To go to college.
Yeah, 99. Shout out Crossing class in 99.
Crossing.
I graduated. Yeah, graduated. Oh, for real?
Yeah,
okay.
Then we moved.
Then you moved.
Then we moved, and I hated it.
Oh, man. Where'd you graduate from?
I graduated from Thomas Stone High School in Waldorf, Maryland.
Okay.
So we moved. Waldorf. So we moved from PG County. I tried to fight my parents all day long because I was hooping. So, like, all the best hoopers I knew were in that area. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
you had to go there.
So when they were like, all right, we moving to Waldorf, I was like, but why? Like, what's out there? So we moved out there. Nobody was
big houses and a lot of grass.
And the school at the time wasn't really big on basketball, to be honest. It was more football, baseball. So I already knew. So I actually left that school and came back to PG County to go to high school in 10th grade. So I went back to Waldorf in 11th grade and 12th grade. So, yeah. Shout out Waldorf, Maryland.
I will say this. You are absolutely right about the ball game and the ball players in PG County. I grew up under I was like a little bit younger than DeMar Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to see a 6'9" point guard, come from Anacostia. And he I think he ended up going to one of those schools or prep schools or whatever. But he was 6'9" point guard all the way down to the other point guards that was around in the city. that were doing their thing. And big guys like Kevin Ladd, you know, I can remember this is like the biggest guy on earth. What in the world?
Yeah.
And he was in the back. He went to McNamara with me. I started off at Bishop McNamara.
Yeah. I wanted to go there.
They retired my jersey real early because I got to complete the merits, I was just say.
Yeah.
So I went to Clinton Christian.
I went to Clinton Christian too.
You went to Clinton Christian? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the teachers' names, but I remember they let you ball now. They let you play for basketball.
Hey, let me tell you something. It's funny because bro, listen, I met a guy in this in the military like a couple months ago. And we were sitting in this, it's called a First Sergeant Symposium. So we were sitting in this little thing, all the first sergeants were talking to us. Bro, why he say he went to Clinton Christian? I was like, get it. Serious? So it's like
ain't nobody know about in the classrooms on the side of the building, like one room to the next.
It had like a hill with some more classrooms up top.
Yo, bro, they didn't care if it was raining or not. Like, we can't get a hallway?
Nah.
Like, nah. Go to science.
I'm still tripping on the fact that everybody went to Clinton Christian. That's all right. So my bad.
Because they let you in. They wanted them. I ain't gonna say they wanted the money, but you know, let's keep it real. PG County was known for affluential individuals in the Black community,
for sure.
And I never shy away from that.
Yeah,
my mom worked her ass off so that I could, you know, have some of the amenities that I was blessed with as a young man.
Yeah.
Growing up in Maryland. I never ever said that I came from the hood. Never did. I always visited my cousins and my best friends. They would always take me to the spots where I like so I could get it on me. You know, you gotta understand. When I say get it on you, I'm talking about the mud. That grit is that type of pride. Even if you just got pride for your side, like you know what I'm saying. My cousins and them, they rode with Kentland. So they was always fighting in the club, like
I feel you.
They would just came to fight for some reason, but they had pride in Kentland. And when they wanted to chant their name, you don't need to be chanting your name. I learned that real quick.
Yeah,
I don't care where else you from. It's all Kentland. Say it with me now. And if somebody else started to say, "Oh, we from over here," then it would rise the tension, and then it'd be like, as we call it, the German frat, man, like that pride, that man, you know, that manhood get touched.
It does. It drives it's a different type of hunger too. It's a different type of hunger that comes out of those type of, you know. So I get it.
You know, would you have wanted it because you went to Waldorf? Yeah, you know you had to fight your way back in because there was no way you was getting real life situations out here in the boonies.
Yeah,
you had to get back to the sticks and the stones. They may break your bones, but the words will never hurt me. You had to get through all that. You had to be able to get through that. That's what I don't know how anyone wants to put it. But if you can't get through something and you can't get through something early in life, you're going to have to get through something later in life. And I would rather get through something early in life and, you know, have grown from that. And that's the growing pains. You know, I learned early how to speak to a person. You know, you're about respect. I remember the first time I called a girl the B word.
Yeah.
Named Christina Brandon. I'll never forget it. Actually, last name started with a B, right? I thought it was something slick I could say. Like, oh yeah, I can say that. Well, I said that, and I never forget it was my first time in public school because I had been in private school up until like 7th, 8th grade. Yeah. So I'm at public school, and she said something. I'm like, thought I was too short, like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like it was games off. Like as soon as I said it, it was like everybody looked at like,
yeah.
She looked at me like, oh, like I'm like, yeah. So you know, needless to say, she told her cousin or whoever that was not supposed to still be in the 8th grade, was to come holler at me, right?
Yeah, and that was your last time. But too short.
Never did it again because I understood how it made her feel, and I understood what position it put her in. Like everybody was like, "Yo, you gonna let him say that?"
Yeah.
No, I'm not, and I'm gonna get. I think his name was Cornell. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Chip too, and I remember him looking for me, and he didn't know what I looked like, so he's at the bus trying to like like be like, wait, you can't get on the bus till I know, is this him? No, it's not him. But I was already on the bus.
This one?
Yeah, I was already on the bus. Like, I was watching him look for me, but I learned also the importance of being early. He like, you know how the clock about to strike, the bell about to ring?
Yeah, you was out of it.
I was like, I got to go to the bathroom and stuff. So I was already in the hallway.
Hey.
Bell ring for dismissal. I'm already on the bus. Don't worry about it.
So you learned an early lesson of being prompt and how that could save your life.
Man, you're not going to whip my ass. Look right here. It's not going to happen. I'm out of there. And if I got to stay around, then we'll do what we got to do. But I'm not just going to like voluntarily go into. I'm not Muhammad Ali. I'm the guy that's coaching Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he had to earn
Get back in there.
Yeah. All right, so talking about your early upbringing, right? So you escaped the ass whooping, but what drove you to become the hustler you are now? And I know we spoke about it a little bit before, but just talk about what injected that drive into you.
I had to take from myself and the stuff that I did well, the stuff that I didn't do so well, the things that I had the nerve to do, and I had to formulate it. So here's Soul Fever. This is what drives me in a nutshell. Everybody specializes in something.
Right.
It may be a hobby at first, but then you get real good at it and you can do it better than anybody else because you do it your way. That makes you original. Right. By doing your specialty in an original way, you create a niche and people need you. Matter of fact, if you're a chef and you make a souffle a certain way or the ambiance of your restaurant is a certain way, people have to be there for their 30th birthday, 40th birthday, this celebration, that celebration, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, and you have affected their lifestyle in a positive way. Mm-hmm. But somebody had to have the nerve to step out and do that. I know Rob Naylor. I remember when I'm at your retirement ceremony, and I remember where you came from. And when I see the new house, I'll be like, yo, bro. You not an E5 no more.
I'm gonna tell you, go to the A wing or the B wing,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that brings up the E in soul, which stands for exclusive.
Got you.
Everybody does not need to know who you are or who I am, or I can't tell you everything because hell, I'm still learning. Right. I'm still learning half the stuff. The stuff that happened to me. And it was by happenstance because it was God's plan. I didn't know it was going to happen. There were some things that I walked into certain situations and I just envisioned me being on the other side of the door. And I knew that there was nothing that was going to keep me from getting on the other side of the door because I knew if I got on the other side of the door, Rob, if I could just get on the other side of the door, that's what I needed to do. So 2009, SOLE started, Soul Fever.
Yeah.
I was selling shoes. This is my number one hustle, and I can't tell nobody no lie. I was selling shoes and Unicells. Now, Unicells was the universal cell phone carrier for your cell phone back when we had flip phones. Yeah. And for bike riders, instead of falling off your hip, you could put it on your wrist.
Yeah.
And so the Unicell, we sold 12,000 of these at Bike Rally one year.
Damn.
I was able to pay off student loans. I was able to pay for books and great times had by all off of that piece of neoprene and Velcro that you see right there. Yeah. And we sold so many of them, and I was a distributor, and I realized how it worked. Products come from overseas. You can put your name on it, call it whatever you want, get the patent pending, get the process started. You know what I'm saying? Because what we had to do, we had to make the money ourselves. And we could not take a long time to make that money because what was happening, China and the people that was outside of the country was like, okay, well, you sent me this design. We're going to figure out how we can make the design even better, even quicker for less money. And then we're going to sell them everywhere because we have the dollars to do it, the resources.
That's business 101. So if you ever watch Shark Tank, they say that a lot. So basically, if you come up with a product, if you develop a product, right, they always ask what's stopping the big guys, right, that with all the money from taking the same thing, making it better, making it cheaper. and then just mimicking what you did and just putting you out of business.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Number one, cell phones got bigger. It went from a flip phone to an iPhone to it's just looking weird to have you like some type of Avenger to have this long block on your wrist. And Bluetooth came out. It was a whole bunch of things that kind of took that out. But by then the money had been made. Thousands and thousands and I would even go too far to say millions of dollars was made with that product. I don't know because I got my thousands.
Yeah.
And paid for what I paid for. I just remember 12,000 sold, $20 a piece, bike weed. You do the math. Then we went to go see Boosie. You know what I'm saying? So,
and a good time was had by all.
And a good time was had by all. And you know what? That's the reason, Rob, I was doing anything that I was doing, to have good times. And for anybody that was around me to have good times. And if I could get you in and we didn't pay, if I can get you in and get you in this section and we didn't pay, if I can get you in and get you in this section and we meet the artist and you didn't pay, that was like a high for me. Like, look at all these other people that paid just to whip out their camera phone and say, hey, I was here, you know what I'm saying? But while they were in line, we was smoking with the guys at the hotel. And because K-Mac is driving them to the venue, you know what I'm saying? Get to holler at them. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to stand on stage while they perform for the screaming fans. You know, they going to scream. We're going to get back in the van. We're going to go back to the telly. You know what I'm saying? I'm happily, so I'm going home. I'm out of here. But you guys have fun.
But real quick, name drop real quick. Throw some names out there. Who was y'all chilling with?
My first show was 2004, T.I. Then after that, it was like 50 Cent came to the club. Then, it was people like Chamillionaire. Now, this is around the time of Murphy Lee.
Yeah.
Trillville, Lil Scrappy.
Yeah.
Lil Flip, David Banner. Quick story about David Banner. He was the one that told me, I'll never forget, he kept me awake the whole time to the airport. Because he knew I was swerving. Like, how you sleep and you feel the driver swerve? Yeah, Banner felt the swerve. So he just woke up, called his wife, was like, hi, I'm on the way to the airport. And then just started talking to me. So I'm like, and David Banner could talk, but he hit me with some enlightenment. And he was probably the only person that really, well, not the only one. He's one of the first that said, man, look, it's God first. Because God give you your talent. Mm-hmm. And after God, it's your family. You feel me? Never forget that.
Right.
But sometimes you might have to take the family out and put your talent back in there real quick.
Right.
If you're really serious about this thing.
Yeah.
And this came from David Banner in the passenger seat of an Escalade. We just riding to the RDU.
Bro, them gems are priceless, man.
Yeah, like I learned so much. I also learned how he carried it, how intense he was about it, how serious he was. There were other people in the Escalade too. They were asleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm the driver. I'm just supposed to drive me, Go ahead. It was no Uber back then.
Yeah.
It was just K-Mac will do it. And I'll get them there. And I don't mind if they smoke. I got a vehicle big enough. Even had the Escalade. I'll get the 15 passenger because we always knew somebody at the Enterprise or Thrifty or whatever. So I would get them there. You know what I'm saying? I pride myself on trying to be there for what I say I'm gonna be there for. If I fall short, it wasn't that I was trying to fall short.
Right.
Everything from answering the phone to showing up for your birthday party. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to try. If I didn't make it there, it was really something that held me back. And it was probably one of those three priorities. God, my talent, or my family, in no particular order. But when David Banner said that, back to that, it put it in perspective that what I was doing was a higher purpose than just shoes. And at the time, Soul Fever was about sneakers because I like sneakers. And people were getting sneakers from me. And it was about sneakers that you couldn't get.
The exclusives.
Yeah, the exclusives. Or if I said it's exclusive, this is exclusive. Like, nobody has this.
Yeah.
But that's my salesman in me. You know what I'm saying? That was just embedded in me. But I would literally go around to all the Tanger outlets, the Foot Lockers, and find reduced price items, your Rugged Warehouse when they was rocking it.
I remember.
And I would get their stuff like Rugged Warehouse. You got to go Tuesday before they cut the tops off the box. You got to know that the shipment coming in Tuesday. Got to be there. I need these without the box top cut off. Yeah. Because I still need to, because they'll cut the top off and sit them on the shelf. Yeah. But if something was exclusive, like they had some heat and they didn't know it because they don't care, because it's a job for them.
Right.
That's a whole nother level of soul fever right there. The assumption and people just doing their job and people hating their job. Yeah. That's how I got into most of the shit that I got, because there was a thin line of somebody who didn't give a fuck. Right. And they let me slip through the cracks, you know what I'm saying? Right. Because they didn't want to do their job at that moment. So and I convinced them that it was okay. I'm not going to get you in trouble. It's me. I'm K-Mac. All right, matter of fact, hey, me. See, he already knows me. I'm good. Hey, yo, God, hey. Yeah. See, he already knows me. I'm good. That happens so many times, man. And I wouldn't even know the people, but they would recognize it. Yeah. Or the outer layer, like, I remember I was at a Drake concert, and my man, his name is Hulk. Yeah. Named Hulk. I thought him is Hulk, and he's a bodyguard, and I had to pick him up from the airport one time. But at the time, he was Rick Ross' bodyguard. Mm-hmm. So I pick him up from the airport, and it's like, something Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Backpack on, chewing tobacco. Nigga just strong as shit. Look like he really wants to beat somebody up. Like, he can't wait to beat somebody up. So I'm at a Drake concert. That's kind of bodyguard to have. Yeah, that's what you want. They don't play, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're going to get you through the crowd. So I'm at a Drake concert, and I'm backstage. I can't disclose. I won't get nobody in trouble. But I'm backstage, and, Drake is walking past, and because Drake's about to go on stage. Yeah. And Hulk comes through, and I didn't know he was going to be there, but Hulk comes through the curtain. Yo, can't nobody be over here on this side of the stage. And I saw his movement, and I saw his energy, so I already knew what he was probably saying. Yeah. And I saw that I wasn't worried. I could see he was going to eventually get to me. So knowing how to counter that, because you were around these guys so long, you start noticing how they move. You got to walk straight up to Hulk. It's me. Hey, Matt. I got you. What you need? You need me to clear the side? And he looked at me. He was like, yes. Like, can you finish doing my job? He spit some tobacco. And I turn around, and I start saying, okay, guys, I need you guys just push back over here. Just push back over here. And everybody, some giddy little girls and kids and, Drake concert, what I'm saying? So it's all types of people there, you know what I'm saying? But I just helped him do his job a little bit, and he allowed me to remain. So when, as the concert is going, the people with the yellow coats who just work for the Coliseum, they're just doing their job. They just saw me talking to Drake's security. They just saw me interacting with Drake's DJ. They just saw me interacting with Drake's father. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This guy must be good. I don't see any type of credentials on him, but Drake doesn't have one either. So fuck it. I'm just trying to do my job and get my check and go home. Yeah. And he doesn't look like a threat. So that part right there used to always intrigue me, to how many people used to let me into their events and very high-profile establishments and things without the proper protocol being done to see if I'm good or not. You know what I mean? I could have been anybody.
How genius that is, though? That's smart, bro.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work all the time, but, you have to comply. Yeah. You do have to comply when you get caught up there, So I think one time it was a Jay-Z and Kanye concert, same building, and, I'm doing my thing, how I do it. At the end of the show, you could tell they did Niggas in Paris like 2 or 3 times. So I'm like, this must be the end of the show. Start moving, because if you move with the crowd, you are the crowd. Yeah. If you move with the stage crew, you are the stage crew. I used to wear a lot of black at that time, because I realized that these guys wore all black, because theater taught me when you wear all black, you're not there. Yeah. Don't pay attention to me. I'm just a stagehand. So end of the show is happening. I follow one of the stagehands who you know, they come from the trailers or the buses. They wake up because they going from city to city. This is not amazing to them. It's amazing to you, the ticket holder, that, you know, saying, wow, I'm at this concert and it's going down. I just saw the best artist that I've always wanted to see. You're having that moment. They're like, man, can you hurry up so we can break this stage down? Yeah, I got to break this stage down, break these lights down, and we got to drive to Texas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's not exciting. It's a job for them. And I knew that life because of my background in theater. I'm a speech and theater major from Fayetteville State University. Did a lot of plays, a lot of nights of rehearsal. I get it. Let's do this and get it done. So I started being of help to these guys. Think about it. They're in different venues every night. And you got a person that's part of that venue that's like, that ain't my job. Yeah. I'm just trying to do my job is wear this yellow jacket and make sure nobody go past the barricade. Yeah. That ain't my job. So my job is
if they see somebody doing it, a job they don't want to do, they not gonna say nothing.
Man, they would say thank you.
Yeah.
I would get paid. I would get gigs, and the thing about it, I'll tell anybody, there are internships. There's you know, they say get it out of the mud. It's about service, man. And I learned that if you're willing to serve, like you serve your country. Yeah. If you're willing to be of service to somebody, you will be able to open up so many doors. And when I learned that part of it, I grabbed hold. I never let it go. I would try to tell people, but when I would tell them, it was something that was beneath them. You know, like, oh, you know, or you didn't know that this artist was about to pop. Yeah. You know, I had B.O.B. at Fayetteville State. I was trying to get him a little chicken plate, you know, bring B.O.B. in. 2-3 months later, Beautiful Girl comes out with Bruno Mars, chart topping. Yeah. Everybody that was in that room with him was like, dang, yo, why ain't it hot? Should I hollered at him? I'm too late now. Yeah. There was one guy, shout out my man G Torres, but guess what? He was a former student of mine at E. Smith. I taught him way back when. Don't miss an opportunity. Yeah. You know, like, so I matter of fact, I might have told him, yo, you don't get your ass over here and meet this is B.O.B. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he gonna be, but he B.O.B. right now. And you already got to deal with Atlantic. Like, meet him, holler at him. And 9 times out of 10, the people who are like-minded individuals start to gravitate to each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're in graphic design. Yeah. If I meet somebody that's in graphic design and they say, yo, yeah, I went to SCAD. Okay, I got to pull from my database. Savannah College of Art and Design? Yeah, how'd you know? Because I know Rob Naylor. It's okay. You know, and if you don't know the certain lingo, like, I don't know anything about graphic design, but I know that SCAD is that. You know, I know about Adobe Photoshop. I learned on Adobe Illustrator and Macintoshes. So I take the knowledge that I do have. Don't try to sound so profound. Just be like, hey, look, you know, I got a guy, his name is Rob. He's best at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when they say Soul Fever, can you do this for me? I say with all types of confidence, sure. Hey, man, what's your budget? I asked the budget for you because I can't just give it to Rob. Right. I love you, Rob. But if you got if you tell me $75 and I can get $125, is that a crime? No. That I made $50? No. And you made $75?
Nope.
That's America.
That's how it should America. Work.
Yeah. That's business. You know, like you said, like that's business. Now I could be above board and let you know, hey, I'm going to charge a little bit more for your services. But I learned, man, that, you know, when I was in college and I was working at the radio station, a lot of the DJs, they didn't want to, they didn't have their contracts together. They didn't have a 501c3 set up. And, you know, in order for the university to cut a check, they have to cut a check to a business entity to make you a vendor, you know, and then they don't have to do it but one time, but we got to get all your information one time. 501c3 is for like your non-for-profit. If you have a non-for-profit business, that's just the number for non-for-profit. And non-for-profit means just that, meaning that you have a business that you're not in it for profit. Gotcha. And you can show the federal government through the IRS that every dollar that came in was either spent on what you said your mission was, or it has been allocated. Like I might have a ceremony, but it's next year, you know what I mean? So I got to keep $5,000 in the bank for next year. I have an executive director. He gets paid, you know, saying X amount of dollars. We have a secretary. We have a vice president. We have a treasurer, and they all get their cell phones paid or something like that. Right. Because that cell phone that we gave them is for operation, whatever, you know, whatever the name of the nonprofit is. Also, you have, you know, your LLC and your S Corps. But when I was noticing that people were having like names of companies on flyers and, you know, names they wanted to go by, like I go by K-Mac, but why don't you trademark that name? You got Soul Fever, but are you going to trademark Soul Fever? Right. Are you going to, you know, you got to make it a business so that somebody's going to take it from you. And that's probably why you haven't heard anything else called Soul Fever, because when I learned that from my mom, and the first time I got me a little bit of money, I went to a source. Matter of fact, I went to Ron Crosby. Shout out to the bruds. Ron Crosby is a traffic attorney. He does mostly traffic cases. He does some big cases, but he was known in the streets for, if you got a ticket, go see Crosby, you know?
Yeah.
He did not try to beat around the bush and tell me, oh, you do this, do that. He told me who to go see.
Yeah.
He told me who to go see. He said, go see Bob Ray. He's on Mason Street downtown. And at the time, when I went to go visit this attorney, it was back in the woods, and, you know, I had to knock on the door, and it was, you know, creaking wood. You know, it was like, who's this old guy? But he told me so many jewels and said, I'm going to set up everything for you, and I'm going to make you bulletproof, and your business is going to be so airtight that even if you don't even do anything with it, can't nobody else take it from you until you decide to do something with it. Deal? Deal. He told me to charge me $1,000, which other people say, hey, that's too much. I learned later, but that was business. But, you know, he charged me $1,000. I gave him a G. He gave me back a binder with the seal in it, articles of the corporation. If I wanted to sell stock, you know what I'm saying, shares of my company, he gave me all that. I was like, wow, thanks. All this for a G. You know what I'm saying? And about maybe 5 years, maybe 10, no, I think it was about 10 years later, they built some high-rise condominiums, little townhouses downtown on Hay Street. The office that belongs to the lawyer who put all that together and is so intricate, his law office is right there at 300 Hay Street, like right on the corner.
Yeah.
Like you cannot go down Hay Street and not see his office.
Yeah, it's still there?
Yeah, what? He's Bob Ray. Oh. He's not going anywhere. Now, he was just Bob Ray back then. Now he's Bob Ray. He has partners.
Oh, so he's
it's
big.
A law firm.
Big.
He's big now.
Yeah.
And I walk past his window. Come on in. And I walk in, and I can get any type of consultation. I can ask him any question. I could just say, hey, man, how's it going? How's your family going? How's everything going? What you got? He was like, you got cryptocurrency yet? Tell me more. And he would tell me more. And I'd be like, all right, then. And I knew that I was getting jewels, and I knew that was exclusive.
Yeah.
I knew that was exclusive. And I was like, yo, this is an exclusive relationship. And relationships are important in our line of work because it's a 3-part relationship. I have to meet you. You have to start it. You have to nurture it.
Right.
Which is, you know, me reaching out. And then you have to protect it.
Yeah.
Now, real talk. Tell the audience when the last time you and I talked before this date. About how many years has it been?
It's been a minute.
Has it been over 10? It had to be over 10.
Yeah, because
my daughter's 5.
Or close to it, because the last time we actually spoke was when we were talking about doing the Empire Radio Magazine stuff.
Exactly. And I remember I probably just got married, living in an apartment,
you
know, where all I could do was go on the balcony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get on the balcony. That was my world. And you was living out there in Hope County, right?
I was in Spring Lake.
Spring Lake, but it was out there, though.
Yeah.
It was the other side of Spring Lake.
Yeah. So that's a testament to, all right, so I'm a firm believer.
Relationships, yeah, man.
Relationships, but like even deeper than that, I feel like stars align with like-minded people, because you can go 10 years without really speaking, 8 years. You can put a number, whatever number you want to insert, right? If you have a like mind and it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. Because we could have just as easily not ever spoke again. But we've always been in touch some kind of way, like whether it be social media or whatever.
And the social medias that we connect with now wasn't even in place when we met. All we had was like MySpace back then.
Right. So that's just like I said, a testament to a higher power, higher calling, whatever you want to say. That when something is, that's why I believe when something.
You did my flyers for parties.
I was going to say that. I was going to bring it back to that. And I know exactly which flyers it was too. Because you know what? That's when I was first starting out with graphic design, bro. A lot of people don't know. I taught myself how to do graphic design. But then I went to school for it. Once I realized it was really like truly a passion that I wanted to learn, I wanted to learn the corporate side and how to really get into it. Because when I started, I was pretty good. But when I look back at it now, I'll be like, yo, that shows growth, you know? It's like, not saying I did trash flyers for you, because I still like them jokes a little bit.
Man, look, you talking about technology. At the end of the day, if you could find a graphic designer and have them on your team, that was, once again, you didn't know this because this is just business. You were just starting. Yeah. You had a passionate desire to just get on.
Yeah.
And you probably said, hey, I'll do this. Don't even worry about paying me. You probably said something like that the first
I was in that mind at the time. I was like, look.
Yeah, so I might say, no, I'm going to pay you something. How about $50? I'll give you $50 an hour, because that's what everybody charges. You know, at least $50. I got to give you $50 for the design. And then you realize, like, wow, I don't have to print them out. And you made me go to Staples and get extra copies.
Yeah.
It's $50 just for the design.
Right.
And then cost of living goes up. You can get up to 65, 75, 125. And then you might say, I'll give you 3 designs for $200.
Right.
You get to pick which one. And what are you saying? I'm spending my time. This is the product, and everybody can't do it. I was leaving meetings with you, going to other people, and they was like, yo, can you get your guy, the secret person, to do a flyer like this? And then if you did something wrong, remember, that's the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
When something's fucked up on the flyer, you got to call the flyer guy back to be like, yo, can you please just change this? And he might have spent forever just to try to get that way. And you're like, man, I need you to take the butt cheeks off the flyer. If you comply, just remove that.
That's how it was too. But see, that whole thing, I learned a lot. I learned a lot with graphic design, because it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of sleepless nights learning how to do that craft. You know what I mean? Like,
and what program did you learn on?
So, all right, funny story. I first started my first flyer, my first paid job. I made the flyer on Microsoft Word.
Wow.
And that's what let me know I could do it and make money, really, like, because I still remember, I don't remember her name, but she was a real estate agent. And she paid me to do flyers for her, and I did them on Microsoft Word.
And all she wanted was the picture of the house.
It was something. Yeah, it was something, and then just with the information, I mean, I made it look good. But then I was like,
simple, right?
Yeah, but then I was like, I wonder how they do the super professional stuff. And then I figured out it was Photoshop. So I was like, all right, let me get my hands on Photoshop. So like a lot of people, you think Photoshop, you get it, you're going to install it, and it's just going to be easy to just, I'm making stuff now. Bro, when I tell you I stayed up late nights, want to throw my computer away, like I just dug into tutorials. YouTube was my best friend. Google was my best friend. And then just a lot of practice, bro. Like, and then
Photoshop is like all the layers, right?
All the layers.
All the layers.
Everybody thinks they can do Photoshop, but if you ever see some designs people made in Photoshop, everybody can't do Photoshop.
Do you remember when it was Adobe Illustrator?
They still have that. That's
how old I am. You know, when we was getting the register receipts from Safeway to get a Macintosh and shit. You remember that? You don't remember that?
No, I remember that.
I think Safeway and Giant used to have this thing where you could get the register receipts. And if your school got a certain amount of register receipts, they would donate computers to your school.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
All right, so I think, Crossland, we had, shout out to Mr. Goodwin.
Yeah.
He had it set up. That was our photography teacher. He had the dark room. So he taught us about f-stop and finisher and how to make, real, put it in the water and hang out the pictures and all that stuff. Yeah. We was doing all that. And then he introduced us to the Macintosh when we got our computers. And that's the first time, because he said, this is how they make magazine covers, like Ebony. Mm. And, of course, the favorite magazines you like as a teenage kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how they made Source, or this is how they made XXL, this is how they made I know this is going to be recorded, so I can't say all the ones my favorites back then, but, it's it was like, wow.
Throw it out there.
No, I'm not. I'm happily. Remember this.
You're happy. Yeah, we good. We want to keep it that way. We want to keep it that way.
Exactly.
Black love. Black love.
You know, when I saw the grind that you had, you were just getting in the Air Force. You just getting in the Air Force. See, I remember. Yeah. You just getting in the Air Force, and I knew that most people that get into that life that I was realizing was like, dang, what did I got myself into? There are a lot of people like, yo, I'm here for it. Let's go. Yeah. Send me.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. And then for as many people that was like that, it was just as many people that was like, man, I don't know if I could do this. And I remember saying to you, like, man, look, don't quit, bro. Like, and you're how many years from retirement now?
3.
3 years.
A little under 3.
Little under 3. Yeah. I sold most of my Beamers to people that were retired, bro.
See,
and it was very rare that you get that retired person that was young enough to me not know how old you are.
Yeah.
Type young. Like how'd you get this money? I retired and then I opened up another business. Like you must have went there when you was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And they be like, yeah, I did. I went in when I was 18, 19, I retired and I still have this much of my life ahead of me to do my own thing. And I think that's a testament, like, what Soul Fever was about. Like, I had to go through it, bro. Mm-hmm. I said, man, this is what Soul Fever is. This is what it means. This is what I believe in. This is how you do it. You have to specialize in something. You got to be original at it. You got to affect others' lifestyle. And you have to have exclusive relationships that they don't have. Yeah. And you have to be passionate about it. That's where the fever is about. That's why the colors was always about hot colors, because if you're not passionate about what you got going on, why should I be?
Exactly.
Why should I be? And every time I would read a self-help book or somebody that was talking about different strategies on how to be better, mm-hmm. there was this common denominator of their fucking opinion. Mm-hmm. That's their opinion.
Right.
You can write a book too, and it's going to be your opinion.
Right.
I could write a book. It's going to be my opinion.
Yep.
But you cannot reinvent the wheel. Shout out to my cousin, Milton Yates. Shout out. That's my dog, man. For real, the reason why I play is Omega Stuff I told me, you don't reinvent the wheel. You duplicate and distribute. If they doing it in Houston, LA, Atlanta, and, New York, do it in North Carolina.
Right.
He didn't really probably agree with me being in such a small city.
Yeah.
But I had to tell him, once again, my opinion matters. Yo, Milton, there's something special here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I remember him telling me, like, why you ain't in Charlotte? It's like, man, there's something special here. And I remember when I was at my frustration point, like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I think it was around 2005, 2006. I started teaching. They had a audition for BT Fresh New Faces, right? Mm-hmm. And I had just started teaching my first week, and I get this email. And the last date is in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I called my mom. So I was a mama's boy. I called my mom. I was like, yo, I'm about to go fly to Chicago. Well, where you gonna stay? In line? I don't know. I don't know. Just gotta go up there. I gotta do this, Mom. And she said something that impacted me like for the rest of my life.
Okay.
She said, Kevin, you're a professional now. And if you're going to audition for something, that's cool. But you're a professional now. And that might not be a career that you chose and that you wanted to always do, but you're definitely a school teacher right now. And this is definitely your first week of class. Professionally, I don't think you should not be in your class the first week of school.
Right.
And she was only saying that because she had taught DC Skills Center, like 11, 12 years at Allenwood Elementary School, you know, substituted all the high schools. You know, she knew education. And I guess that was one thing you don't do. How can you set the tone for your classroom at an alternative school and you're not there the first week of school?
Wise words.
But the same time she said that, there was another colleague who was, because I was at my computer like, I'm about to book my flight. That was Mom, about to book my flight. And we had to share a classroom with the high school alternative. So our school was middle school. They would end around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And then high school would start at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
For the high school alternative. So the teacher, he had a desk on the other side of the room. And I just remember him, this big, sad looking guy, depressed, just woe is me, you know, and he was saying, yeah, I had an audition once and I didn't go. I regretted it for the rest of my life.
Hey, this sounds like a TV show. You know, all the TV shows and the movies, like, I want to do something, and then you see the future you telling you, I was like, had to really, 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 really pray about that junk. And I know my mouth is bad a little bit. I hope my mama not watching this. All the curse words, maybe you can bleep those out for me. But I definitely wanted it. But I knew her words were so wise. Yeah.
I knew it. I knew she made sense. I saw her make a lot of money in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I saw people that was telling me, why you always listen to your mama's boy? You broke. Hey. Like, why would I listen to you? Like, I'm trying. She had a Benz, a Lexus, all these nice cars, and I, you know, it had nobody to help her get none of it. And I watched, you know, she bought her first Lexus from down the street here in North Carolina, and on Easter, like Good Friday, bought the new Lexus for Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. You buy a Lexus for Easter Sunday because that's how you want to show up at church. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Take that.
Moms
did that, you know what I'm saying? So that's how she did it. So I'm like, anybody that used to tell me anything different, they would have to prove to me how I should and why I should listen to them. And then the people that was really, really doing it well, they always say, man, make sure you listen to your mom. Why? Because they might have lost their mom. They used to say, man, that girl love you. Make sure you stay with her. That's a good one right there. Why? Because they did all the other stuff and was alone at an older age. So they was like, they gave me things and I could take it or I could leave it. Some things I didn't pick up on quick enough, but some things I did, man, and it was like, I'm glad I did. Saved my life. Yeah. Because, you know, had I went to that audition, where would Terrence J be? Come on, man. I can't do that to the bruhs. No, that's just me being overconfident. I mean, I was going to say. But no, you know, no lie. When I saw Terrence got it, he's like maybe 1 year younger than me in the frat. I remember pledging him in frat, the intake process. I remember during the intake process, you know, we sang Kumbaya many nights.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to Terrence J though, because he really came up, man.
Kill it. But guess what? It was meant for him, Rob.
Yeah.
He worked harder than anybody else that auditioned. My trip to Chicago would not suffice.
Yeah.
And I'll do what he did. He went to 2 auditions in 2 different cities and said, look, I don't like the way I did the last one. Can I get another shot? Stood in 2 lines, 2 different cities. And that's why he got on. And he did not stop. The tenacity that our frat taught us, and to be tenacious is to have perseverance, which is continuous and tenacious effort. You don't give up. You don't stop until you're done. You have a goal. You reach it. Either you're reaching it now, I'm going to reach it eventually, but I'm not letting go of this until I get to where I need to go.